And welcome back to the Nottingham Show. Last time we got on a hot streak of scoring goals, and for our efforts we were able to promote to the second league, which for a real life perspective we've been facing League One opposition this entire time, but the general finances, including sponsor payouts as well as match attendances, have a much more professional feel from this league onwards. I'm going to take the match payout, by the way, even though I know we could reach the semi-finals in the Prestige Cup because we've already done it. And somewhat annoyingly, the Youth Academy has given us another amateur goalkeeper, even though it wasn't that long since we got Liddell and had to turn him into a DF. He does have reaction though, so I think we could also turn Card into a DF. But it does represent a training issue we'd rather not have at this point, because we're staring down the barrel of a difficult second league campaign, and we're about to lose Bag as well, because if we don't sell him in this transfer window, he turns 34. I suppose I could keep him around. He actually wants to sign up to a 3-year deal, but then we don't get a chance to sell him if we go down that route. Tough matchup for our defense, as we aren't particularly well equipped to deal with a nutmeg yet. We need that centre back, but we can't play the guy who's becoming a centre back in this game. That's a annoying shot to give up, but at least he didn't get a chance to nutmeg me. Now the good news is their forwards don't have a good control, but it didn't matter. What are we doing? At least we got bailed out by Fellows, but that's not something you want to have to go through. I don't think we have much of a choice but to do it this way, although it is just going to make Ramson slide us again. But we're pretty much in the same spot as before. Oh my... Well, if we're going to lose anyway, we might as well put on some players that we want to get experience. Oh, I should have saved a substitute for Bins. I suppose I've at least got to take a crack in case we get a good roll, and we don't. So yeah, the only thing left to do is to drop Card back, he gets some EXP, and well, unless he gets this long shot, but I don't fancy his chances from there. Fellows, he played well, he just... here we go, the game's talking a little bit about the second league, and as I suspected, this is the point where the game considers the competition to be fully professional as opposed to semi-pro. Birmingham are forcing us to pick our poison here. I have to allow the nutmeg to go through, because if I drop my defense to the back row, the rainbow guy is going to be in this corridor and he can go all the way to the keeper unhindered. They got almost an entire squad of level 3 guys here. Level 3, level 3, level 3. And unfortunately I moved back to cover off this guy on the previous turn. Gonna have to take the slide. Works. See if Jerd can take this, which he actually can. That's the benefit of having defense. Oh, but he still has to shoot it through one player. I dare say we got timer scammed there, because their defense was completely falling to pieces. For whatever reason, they're still calling the slide tackler over. And that's a mistake, because they risked the foul. So we go low to Delbridge, because Bins, he is much stronger than anyone here. And Bins gets the goal. Huge breakthrough in what I thought was going to be a much rougher game for us. And since we have to lead, we have to play accordingly. So 6 at the back, including Card. I've got Mercer in as well. And that's not to say we can't still attack. We still have Jerd. We still have Hutchinson. We still have this. And we still have that. So Jerd makes it 2. And with this final tackle, that wraps things up. Oh, there was still stoppage time. Well, I suppose it's for the best that I did go through the motions of taking that ball, because now it's less likely that they're going to score. And they still could, but 2-1 doesn't hurt us. And Fellows is able to make the save anyway. And in this game against Bolton, we're going to encounter a defence that you don't often see the AI use. 3 centre-backs all in the back row. It could work. It's going to take a while for me to break this down. Also, not a particularly good match for Jerd because strong goalkeeper, even though it's only level 1. There's not much for us to do but get tackled here to set ourselves up for a later turn. Actually, I thought for a moment I'd screwed up my chance to make a play here, but Malin can make that play himself. I was thinking Draco would make the play, but that would have required him to use Nutmeg. But there you see the downside of such a formation. They got way too many players committed to the attack, so once I dislodged the centre-backs, it was all too easy to get in. Helps that Bolton are struggling to get good rolls in this game too, which means wasn't expecting that to be a goal, but I was hoping for a corner at least. If we can roll properly with the... I should not have put Shearer there. And stop to think about the pathfinding of a regular shot in that situation, and the game has punished me for it. Okay, this is the rare example where the throwing in talent is actually dangerous. I'm going to have to move bins to block that. Oh wow, they didn't even go to that guy in the end. Decided to go here instead. Oh, but he's still got 2 turns left. We got away with it though. Could have won that match, but we'll have to move on. We got some more skills trained, level 2 skills, Attil level 2 slide, that's going to be particularly useful. So here's Shrewsbury Town, a club we've surprisingly never seen in the 3rd League, despite them teetering on the edge of relegation for pretty much the entire playthrough. They're not as good on paper as the teams we've faced so far, but too many times I think easy game only to be surprised, so I'm not going to take this one for granted. I would have liked to have gotten it to Draco for the big play down the wing, but we're going to have to settle for the big play down the centre. Challenger can pull it off. There's nobody there on this team that can stop him. We might only get 1 goal out of him. Yeah, he's going to have to come off because that killed him, but the damage is done. They might be able to do the damage back on us though, because I have Shearer in the game when maybe I should have Stardifant, but I think Shearer works better once they get their skills. Well, of course, if I'd known that was going to happen, I wouldn't have moved back so far out. We were having such good luck with him in recent rounds that I thought I could no longer... never mind. We get away with it because they don't know how to head. This empty midfield that Shrewsbury are running offers up a real chance off the kickoff. Draco goes into prime position to set up Bins. All we needed was a good roll from Bins. But we may yet be able to get one because this is attempt number 2. And yes, it's in. Could drop a cross in with Davenport of all people, because the cross factor from here is only 5. And it works. Oh my goodness. And now it doesn't even matter if... okay, I'm not going to say that name. Well, Shrewsbury should have at least scored 1 goal here, but they didn't, and we're once again going to come away with 3 points in the 2nd League. And with that big performance, Binns has also picked up a specialisation level that I was really pushing for, because anytime you're not training up a skill, that's wasted time. Regarding coaches, I'm going to refrain from signing another defender coach for at least one full season to compensate for the fact that I upgraded to 2.5 stars too soon, so to speak, under the house rule. So I think the next thing I'm going to get is the bench coach, actually, because that's starting to become useful. Though I'm usually good at making squad rotations when and where necessary. Oh, yeah, that's an eyes lighting up moment right there. We might not even need skills. Both of our strikers can just shoot straight past, especially if we can find a way to dislodge the sweeper. That's the downside. We still needed to beat the sweeper. Scunthorpe? What are you doing? Okay, I know what they're doing. I think the more important question is, why are they doing? Especially since... Oh, okay, that's why they're doing. Because Bag reverts to useless when you need him the most, and... well, I guess 2 can play at that game. This could be another example where I thought Judd was our man, but Binns is actually better positioned. Oh. The cross is still on, though. Just because that position is harder to cross from doesn't mean you can't do it. Feel like spreading the love here. This is going to get nerfed by their right back, but Judd would still get 2 chances at it. So, yeah, it still goes through. And they've just given up because they wasted an action on a press when they really needed to be playing fast. Oh no, they could still score, albeit it's going to be a very unlikely shot. But with that, we have our first home victory of the season. If we want to sell Chalk for his full price, he is going to have at least 1 year left on his deal, so I will renew that one. I think Stardifant will be good for at least a little bit longer, so I'm actually going to give him 2 years. But given our struggles to find a long-term player to fill in the defensive midfield void, I'm going to bite the bullet on Bag. We're going to have the useless one for the long haul. I figure that if we're not going to sell him, we might as well keep him around for as long as he's willing to play. Another matchup where the nutmeg users are too scary. I have to go to the back row with the defense. Also another matchup where Jerd won't be too useful. A bit of an off year for Jerd then, but I'm sure he'll more than make up for it later. That could have broken the deadlock, but he got a bad roll. Oh, that's it. Oh. Actually, what I originally wanted to do could still work because Delbridge made that tackle. It's our best chance of scoring, so I have to take it, and it's in. I think something about us being a freshly promoted team is causing the AI to underestimate us, come out with these very aggressive formations, so to speak. We still have a raw stats disadvantage, though, that makes those sorts of shots dangerous. Norwich doesn't have the best control either, but... oh, we passed the wrong guy. Oh, Pelter, what is he doing? He had Jerd played offside and he just played him back onside. If Jerd can't score, is it better off just hitting Binns? Oh! Oh boy. If this works, we're about to witness something awesome. We're probably still going to win the match, but at what cost? Well, actually, are we still going to win the match? Because Howson's got the long pass. Garnon, okay, he's only got... But he didn't score, so we win 1-0, but in a very boring fashion when I wanted to win in a more exciting manner. I can hardly believe this myself, but we're leading the second league at the end of our first episode in the division. I'm not sure this is going to hold, but at least we can be certain we're not going to relegate anytime soon. See you next time, I guess.